stable as
Yeah,
fuck.
it's crazy unstable.
Okay.
Am I going first?
You are like.
You are the leader.
Yeah, you're
I'm the leader.
Yeah,
of the
because you two started recording before I even got it.
Whatever.
Then I got it.
Alright.
So I'm CEO.
You're CFO. That's just under CEO.
And then your COO and Landon's the GM. I don't know. This ain't a business.
Landon's
fucking
just not
shit.
reliable.
Hey everyone.
You can try that again, I guess.
What's our intro gonna be?
Like I said.
Well, hell.
Okay, just.
Hey, everybody.
Ah!
Yeah, sick. Alright.
Okay,
Yeah,
just say what's up, Taz.
What?
And then I come in. And then we talk our talk. And then.
So I'm not saying hey everybody.
You can say hey, everybody.
Yeah, but
Alright. Okay. This chair is way too rolly. Hey everybody. I'm Taz, as you know, and
no, they don't know that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they do.
We
We
say
say
anything.
No, they don't know that. No, hold up. There are some rules in filming that you have to follow.
'Kay.
One,
Alright, they
You
don't know that.
yeah,
Alright.
introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Taz. We are bringing this video to you today to, just talk and maybe, shed some light on some stuff. And since that went that way, I'll bring in this motherfucker.
I just gotta cover the camera, holy shit.
See, I bounce and shakes.
That's not comfortable.
We'll
Do you
show
want
you-
to put it on the chair?
I'll show you. No, that's way too low.
Okay.
Well,
Looking up our noses.
I mean, my nose is pretty nice.
Alright.
Stop. Gosh.
Now
What's
we
up,
need to do the intro
everybody?
room again.
Everybody.
I'm Lois. Y'all should know that by now, fuckers. Yeah, so, we're back.
We're back.
Sort of.
Minus one.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that shit really quick.
You want to start out talking about that?
Yes, I don't understand. So the way I see this is, I did not want to give up on this channel. It's our baby. And we kicked it and said, see you later, fucker.
Pretty much.
But now I want to nurse it back, and he wants to nurse it back, and we said...
I tried for a little bit. I was still posting shit up on, like I was doing those music videos and shit. And I was trying to make other films, but yeah.
So now we just want to nurse it back to fully, and since we're -1,
Addressing that elephant in the room, Paul decided to go his own way. That
shit happens.
yeah, people
That's-
grow, they change, and we have different views and shit. And maybe I was a bitch and I wanted to do more shit, then he was like, nah man, fuck that shit, and I was like, alright man, fuck that shit. And so yeah, we decided to go, like, all respect though, like we'll put his channel right there,
Or
annotation,
description.
or down in the description.
Paul is
something.
Penguin.
Paul is Penguin. So you guys can check his shit out. He does gaming stuff if you still want his smexy ass all up on your live feed. But yeah, other than that, we just wanted to, bring the channel back. And we lost Paul, but we gained a couple of other motherfuckers. We'll introduce one right about now, and we'll get this shit started for you guys. So.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
What's up, everybody? We're here with a Let's
You're
Talk.
recording, right?
Yeah, it's recording. Can you see that little REC in the thing?
Yes.
Okay, that means it's
I don't
recording.
see it. What's up, everybody?
Again, this is Martin.
What's up, guys?
He is our newest COO. But
He didn't go through initiation though.
yeah, he hasn't gone through initiation. That shit's
So helping you move is not an initiative.
no, that's not. An
I got
I
tricked.
did that by myself.
I got tricked straight
Yeah.
up.
I was helping him move to the storage unit. I did that.
Yeah, he did that.
This
He
isn't a
did all that
competition, I'm
shit.
just saying.
Okay. Anyway, this is something we're bringing to the channel called Let's Talks. We're gonna, sit down, talk about whatever the
We can talk
fuck
about
is.
life and
Yeah, whatever.
Anything that comes up.
I mean, mainly what we're trying to, assess here is that a lot of people have a lot of ideas going around right now, and we kind of want to get a feel for all of them. We don't want to be just stuck inside our own bubbles. So
Yeah.
we're going to ask my man Mensch over here what he thinks about stuff. Taz, what you're going to think about stuff, and of course what I think about stuff. So
And it doesn't just stop here. It comes with you guys. You guys comment being like, "No, you're fucking wrong, dumbass, stupid motherfucker." Like, don't say that, but like, you're
Well,
gonna
I
have,
have your own
you're gonna have
yeah.
different. You're gonna have different
Everybody's
opinions than us, and
Everybody's gonna have a different opinion.
everybody gonna have different opinions than us. You guys are gonna have different opinions, and we'll be glad to hear you guys' opinions. And
yeah,
read
we
them.
honestly expect you to give us your opinions. So
Straight up.
if you have an opinion to give, if you feel like you want your voice heard, this would be the place to do it.
Mm-hmm. And if you do, you might even be fucking featured in another video, and we'll be like, this comment stood out to us, and we'll talk about it as
And
like
how we feel about your comment.
as a previous, and that's what this whole what would you call this?
I would say that we're taking an introspective look at life from various opinions.
Exactly. Okay.
I like it.
Sounds
Yes,
good.
good.
And that's a lot to. We're gonna have to break that down into
Yeah, we'll unpack that whole idea from that large concept. I mean, mainly what we're going to focus on today is how all of us feel about God and how He impacts our world. Mainly,
trigger warning for those of you who might not like God, or you have a certain dead set view on it. This is not it has to be this way.
can we get a
That would
comment on the comments saying, if we should talk about trigger warnings? Would you guys like us to have a conversation about how
Exactly.
we feel about trigger warnings?
It's a good idea. Man's just gonna be watching the race the whole time.
Sorry.
Comment below if you think we should have a talk about trigger warnings, and we'll take it under advisement.
And yeah, we'll take any.
Yeah,
fucking ideas.
if you feel like, there's something you want to hear a couple regular people talk about in a very real way, comment below. Tell us what you think we should talk about.
Fuck yeah, dude. Stepping it up.
fucking straight up.
See? That's why you're...
COO. The coup.
Yeah. So, guys, I think we should start this conversation. Menji, I'm going to ask you a question here, alright? So, I would like you to give me your best definition of what God means to you.
That was hard. Because when I was growing up, I don't know. I kind of believe on... there is someone up there, but I don't see it as like you would say other people like, oh, God's always watching you and all this. I kind of see it how as in like...
He watches me masturbate.
I see it. I see it how whatever happens, happens. So that happened for a reason, not some guy saying something from above.
So, Menj, with that whole, reason thing, do you think then that there is a predestined plan for everybody? Everything happens for a reason, right?
I believe so. Everybody's following a track. It
Okay.
might be fucked up, but shit happens.
Well, in that track, do we have any ability to, manipulate that? Or is it all just predestined? Like, do we have an
No.
ability to affect that in any way?
The way I see it is what we're living in right now is already happened. And right now we're just... our future selves is about to die. And right now you're just reliving everything.
So it's kind of like that. Your life flashes before your eyes, but this is like you living through that flashback of your
Love
life.
the whole thing.
So, are you saying that, let me, just to,
Yeah.
vet this out. if we get to the point where we die, do we just go back and do it again? I mean, are we stuck in a constant circle?
I don't know.
All right.
So that's the
See, I haven't been there yet.
Yeah. Well, and that's
Well, but how many times have you been there? And this is you.
That's right.
that's
totally
the
different
truth
truth.
because we're right. You know, so I'm 23, he's 22.
21.
Guys,
21.
guys, can we get a comment for the 21-year-old? Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, and Menji, please tell the audience.
I'm 21.
He's 21 as well. Can we get another comment for Los Menj, 21, baby? So, you know, getting back on track, Taz, he says that, you know, we are stuck on a track. We don't have a lot of an ability to manipulate that track. And we're, you know, from what we can vet out, we're reliving it a couple times. Now, do you have any thoughts on that?
I completely disagree with that.
All right.
So, like, I had this thought. Like, I haven't been one to believe in God very much. Like, I was always like, yeah, well, I don't fucking know. Like, I wasn't there when Adam and Eve, you know, or I wasn't there when someone evolved from a fucking ape. You know, I wasn't there, so I don't fucking know. But the other day, I kind of had a thought, like, while I was at work, I was like, what if, like, you know, you always heard that God created us in His image. Like, what if we all make up God? Like, every human being, every bad person, every good person, every sinner, every saint. We're all one entity in a spiritual sense of God. Because you know how, like, in yourself, you have, like, demons and, you know.
Yeah, you have your bad stuff.
Yeah. Like, everybody does. Like, let's be honest. Everybody has, like, those thoughts of, like, I can just kill that motherfucker. Like, you know, like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, that's what makes us human.
Exactly. But, like, what if we are all that for God? You know what I mean?
Are you saying we're the bad thoughts of God?
No, not really. Because like,
I was gonna say, damn, man.
We're like the thoughts in and of His consciousness. Like, we are God's consciousness.
So you're saying that in God's mind's eye, we are the antithesis, we are the creation, we are that living I.
Yeah, that's not, like, me personally, I don't believe, like, I can't say that I believe one way or another because I just don't know. That's my motif on God, is like, I wasn't there, I haven't died yet, I don't know what's...
You haven't been to them pearly gates?
I'm in a, I don't know, that's my religion, I don't fucking know.
Alright.
Like, but that's just like my thought on it, you know.
Now, you know, there's the I don't know, and then there's the I don't know, and I reject other people's ideas. Are you saying that you're completely available to other ideas?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like, and I'm available to them, but it's like at the same time, it's like that might not be what I believe in. But if it's like that's good for you, like great, like okay, cool.
Well, and I would like to post up right now for a major thing on this channel. We're focusing on that you have your own ideas and those are good. We're not saying that any of those ideas are bad. We are just saying sometimes, and there will be times when we agree, but sometimes we will not agree. And we're not saying anything bad about you for having an idea that we disagree with. However, there is going to be some stuff that we don't agree with. Like,
and this is not this is our idea and this is right. That's not what we're
honest,
not saying that our ideas are right either.
We're asking for a bigger contemplation of this world. That's all we're asking.
A conversation.
Yeah, a conversation to have.
This is like in a world that doesn't talk. You know,
honestly,
it's always so. Your idea is wrong, my idea is right, go fuck yourself. Or, you know, like that. It's like, no, let's debate about it. No. Okay, let's like...
Not even debate about it.
Yeah,
let's be open to that there's other ideas out in the world, and that doesn't make them a bad person for believing those ideas.
And all of our talks aren't going to be so controversial like this one. Like how it's talking about God and, life and shit. Like, we might talk about slurs or, you know, cars.
Well, and that's the thing, is what we're asking here is for you to take the subjects we're talking about and take some time and think for yourself what you think about those subjects.
Open your mind a little bit.
So, guys, I'm just gonna hop back into the conversation we were having. Menji, about the stuck on a track thing. You know, I definitely believe that some things are kind of predestined, you know, and that's kind of a hard subject to get around. Just generally that, you know, we don't want to accept sometimes that we don't have the power to change something. You know, a lot of people have a problem with that in religions, and that's why they don't involve themselves in that.
Because it feels like you have no freedom. If your life is already predestined, it's like, what's even the point? You know, and I believe that to a certain extent, we were kind of given these lives to play out a role. And that's kind of a hard conversation to have because you need to think about it in this way. You know, think if we have been here before, you know what I mean? If we've been here before, theoretically, you know, we would replay the same roles. And I'm not exactly with that train of thought. Where I lie mostly is that we played different roles. Maybe we've been here before, but we're playing different roles in that same position. Okay.
So say that if you have been Menji before, if you've been Menji before, I definitely believe that there's been a possibility that you could have not been a Mercedes technician. Mercedes technician, by the way, just let me know. I think it's super cool.
One thing is that you gotta own yourself in this shit.
Yeah,
No,
so
I'm not a super big fan of that stuff. I like this little small subject here. I don't like being the center of attention. I'm always the one that I want to see it from the outside. I don't want to be like in a bunch of huge crowd, like, oh, I fucking love you, blah blah blah, and this, and I'm.
Yeah.
So when
scared of
we
that
get
shit.
famous and you're trolling through, you know, our YouTube videos from the past, and
Just
you
don't ever fucking say hi to Menji.
yeah,
Like,
if you're gonna be around Menji, let's just agree that we don't crowd him all at once. You individually come up to say hi, Menji. So, getting back to that, you know, I believe that possibly you could have been an Audi tech. I mean, if we're talking the simplest things, maybe you were an accountant. Anyway, what I'm saying is that, you know, there's a possibility in my mind where you live different roles out through maybe the same person, because that's, you know, I think that anything out there is really possible. And kind of where I lie on this whole God and religion thing is I lie as an agnostic. I mean, that's actually how I describe myself. And for those of
describe an agnostic.
yeah, for those that don't know, the word agnosticism stems from, you know, you kind of believe in God, but it's not a, you know, one entity. It's not a guy in a robe on a cloud. It's not a deity under the ground. It's more about an energy and a feeling. And where I personally lie with that as an agnostic is I believe that we are all part of the same organism. And what I mean by that is in a really, really large sense. I mean the largest sense that there's ever been. Something connects us. Something brings us together at a level that we can't knowingly attain. So, you know, you say, Martin, there's a guy coming down the street to me. How am I supposed to have any sort of connection with him? And what I'm saying is the sheer fact that we're human connects us to that guy. Connects us to you, connects us to you, connects to me. And we all belong to that connection. There's not one single person that's kept out of it. And, you know, this consciousness, this great big thing, I think is what I consider God. This great big culmination of all the living beings in the world is God, because
kind of what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
we're all God.
yeah,
You know,
and you know, just for future reference, you know, Taz and I have had conversations about this, and Taz and I we actually land on pretty close to the same level. You know, the only thing being is that I think that where we go when we die is possibly into another life. And I think that what's interesting about that thought is it leads back into what Menji thought in a slightly abstract manner, just that, you know, we kind of do relive the same life. I think that instead of reliving the same life, we live somebody else's or a different path of the life, and maybe we even have some ability to, you know, choose that. But that's again a larger conversation. Essentially, where I lie is that we're all connected.
Well, one thing with that reliving the same life is when I was younger, my mom used to always talk about like what she thought God was and stuff like that. Like she had her own views, and she would say something like that, deja vu, like when you have deja vu, because you know everybody has deja vu. You're like, I've lived this moment, and science behind it says it's because, you know, you make a long-term memory into a short-term memory, shit like that. But like my mom would say that it's because you relive your life all the time, and you just correct certain moments in your life.
Yeah, okay.
And so it's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have gotten that tattoo because that's why I went to hell, type shit. You know, like I'm stuck in this. I'm
See this shit going to hell. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm stuck in this cycle until I get my life right. You know,
Yeah,
and I gotta
okay.
get it right to go to heaven. You know, it's like, and like that's a belief that people have, but I wouldn't
Sort of like a
necessarily.
butterfly effect type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, like I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, but like
Yeah.
it's like that's like.
Can
just
we get a
something-
comment in the comments on how y'all feel about deja vu and where it belongs here?
Yeah, deja vu is crazy. Like me, personally, I think that deja vu is and it's like out there, but it's like deja vu is us connecting with other worlds in another, like in a certain way. Like
Yeah.
there's, I believe that there's multiple dimensions and stuff like that, and we're all living, kind of like how when you make one decision, you create a dimension for that other, like
Yeah.
a parallel universe for that other decision that you.
And
can
that's
make.
an interesting
And
topic.
it fucking branches
Yeah.
off. And
Yeah.
a bunch of
I
shit
love
just-
that topic for
Yeah.
reason. When people say, I want to time travel back,
Mhm.
you're not going back to your timeline.
Nope, you're going
You are
back to-
going back to a different parallel universe that you are living in.
Well, and that's the thing, guys. Let's have a talk about real quick. Maybe that's what deja vu is. Maybe that's the ability to take our conscious mind into another realm, back out of that realm, and see what that realm had to offer and apply it to our own lives. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's our ability to look into
So
a
you'd say
different
that like
dimension.
deja vu is us coming from another dimension into this one.
Maybe not coming, or just being able to see into that other
Okay.
dimension.
Just like
you
a
know.
sneak peek.
Yeah, exactly. If we're living in that other dimension, we can see through our own eyes living in that dimension what it is, and then we come back to our own.
Well, and another thing I wanted to touch on I think we talked about it a little bit. It was regarding the dimension shit, like people with mental health issues, like
Yes. Yes.
how they might be torn, like people with schizophrenia or multiple personality disorder, they might be one person living multiple
Yeah. Yeah, I can.
lives in different dimensions. you know
So
what I mean?
what Taz is trying to break down here, and this is going to take some real abstract thought for some of you, and some other people it makes sense.
Yeah.
Take a person who has schizophrenia, can see and hear things that none else of us can hear, reacts to those things as a normal person would if we could hear them. Now, take that thought for a second and apply it to, is there a possibility that they are interdimensionally traveling? And I know that sounds ridiculous, but
Yeah.
when you think about how they live their life and what's impacting them, I think it's an honest-to-God better explanation than there's something that's wrong with them. Have you ever, and this is going to be an abstract thought, but I've had it before. If you've ever been in a place with a homeless person who seems crazy, do you ever think they're just living in the wrong world? Do you ever think that maybe their consciousness accidentally ended up in our consciousness and we're the ones not seeing where they actually are?
And this is the point where we bring up our sponsor. Just kidding, it's not really our sponsor. But the movie The Voice.
Yeah,
The Voices.
exactly.
That one with Ryan Reynolds. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. We're not sponsored by that. I was kidding. But like it's
Kind of movie sponsor? Sorry.
Oh, no, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was just throwing. Okay. Anyway, but like that movie, that's kind of dealing with the same. He sees life. And it's peachy, it's fucking golden, it's great, it's
Yeah,
all this,
it's
but
not.
he lives in
No.
a trash can pretty much. It's garbage on the walls, all that, but he doesn't see that. He
Yeah.
sees what he wants to see,
Yeah.
and so it's like maybe he's living somewhere else,
Well, and I would
consciously.
like to make an argument for mental health advocacy here that, if we take that look at it, I feel like it's a lot easier to accept people that may have just ended up in the wrong dimension altogether and are living in another dimension, but their physical body is here. And I
Yeah.
don't think that we should, hold it against them for 1, 2, jail them for 3, and for 3, just keep them out of our lives, because I think at a different dimensional level that they still interact with us, except that they're just in a different world doing so.
I mean, it's hard because some people with schizophrenia and stuff, they're
Well,
violent.
let me ask kind of, Menji here, when you've dealt with people who have mental health issues, where do you stand on that? I mean, what do you think about those people? Do you think that you want to listen to what they have to say all the time? I mean, I'm not asking for any one thing. You don't have to agree with us here. I'd like to
Right.
know what you think.
The way, sometimes it's like whoa, that guy's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk this way.
Yeah.
But then sometimes, like, when you actually, like, said, nah, fuck that, I'm just gonna keep walking and, like, sort of just hear with my ear. It's just like...
Well, what else are you supposed to hear with me?
I'm saying you might have headphones and then...
That's true, yeah.
Like,
well,
you know how
and you can
sometimes-
actively choose to listen in
Yeah.
on someone
Yeah.
versus taking in the entire world. I get you.
Like, when you're... If, like, you're at a bus stop and
Yeah.
you have headphones in, but yet you just, you know...
You know that there's a crazy guy there, so you
Yeah.
just decide to listen.
Listen, sometimes, like, even though he's talking to himself, like, fuck, I do that all the time at work. I'm
Yeah.
talking to myself.
Walk
All
yourself
my-
through stuff.
Yeah. So, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. Like, I don't think they're super crazy in their own sense. I kind of like that, this idea is just totally brand new to me. The way that they're somewhere else, but yet they're here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never seen it
How
that
do,
way.
like
Yeah.
how does that make you feel? Like, do you think that justifies shit that they do? Like,
Sometimes.
if
Sometimes,
they
yeah, I
like
get
kill
you.
somebody or something like that, like
Sometimes.
would that? And that's
Well,
a thing.
we can't go
would
too
that-
far with that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
killing somebody, no matter. Guys on the channel, let's be honest. We're
Yeah.
not advocating killing anybody
No.
just because you're crazy.
Don't kill someone. Don't kill someone and be like, well, I have schizophrenia and I live in
I'm
another
fucked
dimension.
up. Like, we get it. We might send you to a clinic or something,
Yeah.
but yeah, we're not advocating it.
No, what I'm saying though is like, one, it's clinically hard to diagnose, and
Oh yeah.
and on another issue, we need to work on our mental health care situation altogether. Like, as
As a group effort. Yes.
as a species, we treat people with mental illness like shit. I know because I used to work
at
at a mental health
at an advocacy clinic,
place. Yeah.
Well, and the bigger part of that is that we all kind of. It's been a long time coming, but the biggest problem we're going to run into is as our population increases, the number of people who have mental defects and have these certain ailments are going to become more and more, prevalent. We're going to have a higher percentage of people that do have it just for the sheer amount of people that are on this planet.
Well, because it's like a hereditary thing. Like,
Yeah, a
people,
lot of the time.
Like, if your mom has schizophrenia or something,
There's a good
you got a
possibility,
possibility that you're going to have it. And, well, I wouldn't... How would you... Like, depression and anxiety. Like, do you think that's, like, a hereditary thing? Or is
I
that
know
something
it's a
someone-
hereditary thing.
Is it?
I'm dealing with it right now.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks.
Well, I think we all are in a
Well,
sense.
in a certain way, yeah. So, mostly what we got to come up with is a better way to deal with our own insecurities about people who don't exactly make sense to us. I mean, that's the largest conversation to have at all is, we say that person doesn't make any sense to us regardless of what's actually going on with them, and we just write them off.
Yeah.
And I'm advocating for not writing those people off. I'm not advocating for anything. I'm just saying we need to find a better way to deal with it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and one thing, like, with anxiety, when people... what stops them most of the time is, like, if I do that, I'm gonna die. Like, I can't do that. Like, let's not.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not always to that extreme.
But
But it's like,
yeah.
in that sense, they might have had that in another dimension where when they did make
Yeah,
that
they
decision,
did.
they died.
Well, and that could be that. Think about somebody dying for a second. Think about the emotion and the strong fear that comes with that.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it being so strong that it bleeds from one reality to the next. And, anxiety can come in waves, for one, and two, it can come on strong.
Yeah.
Or it can come on weak. The thing about anxiety is you do have levels of it.
Yeah.
Now think about, in a different dimension, people are dealing with shit that actually has real impact on them, physical impact, and their emotions are so strong.
You were saying, though, about how when someone dies, it leads on, like, the emotion from that death.
It can be death or just an extreme emotional experience. I mean,
It just carries over into
Yeah.
into another dimension.
exactly. Well,
Okay.
and that type of emotion, that strong type of emotion, to not be cheesy as fuck, but to be cheesy as fuck, Inception, the strongest, actual physical thing we can, relate to is love. You can love people that are dead.
Inception, you mean Interstellar?
Thank you. Interstellar.
It's my favorite movie of all time.
Roll it back. Comments. If you think I was dumb, leave it in the comments below.
We all think he's dumb.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Did you see that last video?
So, I definitely think that, emotions can bleed over into different dimensions, especially strong ones. So,
Well, and so since we're talking about mental health and shit like that, and I kind of want to bring it to you, Menji. How do you feel? Like, do you think drugs have an effect on our mind to go into another, like marijuana or mind-altering drugs like that? Do you think that they have a...
I mean, the larger conversation to have about that is that drugs being mind-altering substances, and do they actually bring our consciousness into a different dimension, a different state of being? And that's kind of what we're asking Menji right now.
I feel like they do, but not like as in like a... The way I see it is, so... I don't know any backstory of any fucking drugs, to be honest. I just know that there's drugs and they're bad. Drugs are bad. But, then again, I'm only done. Forget that shit. Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom.
We apologize to all the mothers out there.
The way I see it is, I don't fucking know, LSD. People with mad trip, but I feel like they're seeing something that we cannot see because it's either making it up in their head from something from the past that stays back of your head, or the fact that it's just open it all up, and then now you have, I want to say powers, but like...
You're accessing more of your mind, you think?
Yes.
Okay.
So instead of like whatever this percentage is, you're just full on max 115.
Yeah, like a Limitless.
Yeah.
Well, and that kind of leads into what we're talking about, because he took a drug to access all of his mind, and I think that is definitely, that is definitely as likely as anything, whether or not you're going into another dimension or just accessing more of your mind. So.
And that's a conversation I want to have.
There's another movie.
What's up?
Lucy.
Lucy, that's the one. I remember that.
Except she could like move shit.
It's like that's another conversation I want to have with you guys, maybe in another episode of like, if we could access more than just the percentage that we can.
Can we get some comments on whether or not you believe that we can access more of our mind and how that would impact our world?
Yeah.
Leave it below.
But talking on life and dimensional shit like that, I kind of want to throw the idea out there. It was like, where do you guys stand on ghosts? Like, do you think that they might be, say, a ghost in, I don't know how to fucking word this, but it might be someone coming through from another dimension in a certain sense?
Well, I definitely think that ghosts are real entities, whether or not they're just the memories of the past world. So take a person in 1820 who was living in a space you are now occupying. I think ghosts, there's a possibility that of the mental and physical imprint that we left on that space, of it being replayed through a spiritual energy, possibly. Whether or not they're actually there for us or, just tooling around in the afterlife. There's a possibility that I think it might just be an energy left there. You know what I mean? Didn't follow the person along. It impacted that space and time so hard that impact of energy is replaying throughout eternity.
So it's like, because like a lot of people that I know, well, a good majority of people that I know, they'll say that they believe in God, but they also believe in ghosts. It's like, well, if you believe that people go on in life, then how does that explain ghosts? Like, I don't understand.
Well, yeah, but we're not exactly asking for an explanation of ghosts here.
I don't see how that would logically make sense. If someone's stuck here in this form, haunting my room or whatever, fucking throwing my computer off my desk or some shit like that.
Rude.
Hasn't happened, but like,
maybe
how is that person that died, that went to heaven, still here doing that?
Maybe he didn't go to heaven.
Yeah.
Or heaven.
Maybe he's in limbo.
Just straight in a neutral zone, and he hasn't, or she, or it.
The entity.
The entity. Okay.
Hasn't realized that they died.
Now that's a question for our comments. If you don't realize you've actually died, do you stick around?
So the way I see it is, like I said, they probably don't think that they're dead, and so they're just fucking chilling.
Is that scary?
Well, what does that make us? Like, what if we don't know that we're dead? You
We
know
have
what I mean?
friends then.
But then what would you?
Fuck.
They have homies too. I don't know because
I've often had that thought, like, and I think it's because I suffer from a different form of anxiety where, like, I'll have moments and I didn't say that, but like I actually did. I'm like it just like I'll say something, but I'll be like, no, I didn't say that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. It happened just a second ago. I thought I asked about the homie who's not here, and apparently I had asked about the homie.
oh yeah, that is
Yeah,
so
that's
true.
Exactly, but that happens to me all the fucking
Yeah.
time. It's like, anyway, we kind of digressed off the topic. Like, how did we get there from ghosts? Though that's what I'm trying to understand.
I like this.
Yeah.
I mean, let's get back onto the. Let's just. Really interesting conversation. Taz, super great on bringing it up. Thank you. Let's get back to ghosts now.
Yeah.
And how they impact us, what we think about them. Let us know in the comments what you think about ghosts and where they come from.
I think you were telling me a story once about.
Just about a ghost terrorizing me in my bed.
Yeah.
He really liked static, and the TV was loud, and that was super not cool, ghost. So, just putting it
Super
out.
not- if
If you're watching this,
fuck you.
by the way, bitch, fuck you. That was not cool at all. No,
Drop the mic.
I find it hard to believe in ghosts because like I haven't had too many like I haven't seen them. You know, like what I mean. So like I'm not one to be like believing in ghosts, but like I'll joke around and be like, oh, that was a fucking ghost, like shit. Like
Es el bubuy.
there's two experiences that come to mind. The other day, I was taking a shower and I put my clothes on the ground. And then when I got out of the shower, they were on the.
It's a
They
ghost!
were on
It's
the
a neat freak ghost.
Yeah.
But,
He's like,
but it's like, put your fucking clothes up, bitch. But then again, like, part of me was like, nah, I just thought I put them on the ground. I probably put them, like, you know how I have that.
Maybe while you were in the shower, your consciousness entered a different reality where you had
put LSD.
the clothes.
Whoa! Shower thoughts.
Yeah, that's
That is
true.
so
That's
true.
the deep shower thought. Enter a different reality afterward. Yo.
Yeah. And then there was another one when I was a kid. I used to have this fucking bunk bed. Okay.
You had a bunk bed?
I had a
But
bunk
you didn't
bed,
have
but it was
any
just for
brothers.
me.
Yeah, it was.
Wait,
Because my little sister and my older sister shared a room, and I had a bunk bed for me. Like it was like, what the
Were
fuck?
both beds made?
Yeah, they were.
Oh
all
my
beds.
god.
So one night it's like, I'll go on top of
Nah, fuck this. I'm gonna hot up to the top. I had a bunk bed, but it's like I remember I was playing with my Bionicles. You guys remember that shit?
Oh, yeah.
Bionicles were the shit, dog. I remember they had like an online game.
I've never played that.
I always played it when I went over to my grandpa's. I was like, but
Make that sound good.
fucking whatchamacallit. I remember I was playing my Bionicles and I fucking like acted like one hit the other one up onto the fucking bed. And so I started, and I was listening to the radio, you know, like alternative Incubus shit, and I was climbing up to the fucking thing, and all of a sudden my radio goes whoop, and turns up and fucking starts blaring, scared the shit out of me. I remember being so fucking scared. I ran out of my room and like went crying to my dad, and he's like, why are you blasting music? And he fucking turned it down, and I was like, it wasn't me, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck?
It was a
But-
motherfucking.
I'm a little fucking 5-year-old being like, it wasn't me, motherfucker. Like, god damn it.
That brings me to another question for the comments. If you guys have ever experienced someone who has experienced a ghost and you thought that was some shit,
So, like,
what were your thoughts on
if you're
that?
commenting on this, you're gonna have to like timestamp all of the questions that Martin's asking you and answer that question, then enter. Timestamp the other question. You're gonna have to answer all of these questions that we're giving you.
Hey,
If you do, you're a fucking badass.
Yeah, straight up.
Whoa. I'm sidebar. So I think that you guys should just say whatever, and we'll interpret it as whatever. And
You're gonna go figure out what they're trying to answer then.
Yeah, fuck you. You're like, what question is he answering? Fuck. I'm trying to figure
No,
it
it
out.
kind of makes sense though.
Yeah, it would. Because they're all like, you know. Yeah, okay, whatever. Fuck what I said.
Back to the ghost shit.
Yeah.
where
back
were
to
we
the
on that
shit.
ghost shit?
Oh, Not necessarily that it's a ghost thing, but more like
Like
a
the
sleep
experience?
paralysis.
I didn't even tell my ghost story.
Oh,
my
yeah.
ghost story.
Okay,
now.
what's your ghost story?
I don't know what age I was. I was young, little Menji. I was hardcore back then.
Hardcore Menchie, let's get a shout out in the comments.
Hardcore, like back in 7th grade, hardcore with that picture that we had.
Oh,
Fuck, I gotta find that shit.
As you guys probably know, because you're viewers, this is an inside joke. I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, well, me and Benji have been friends since like 7th grade. Me and Martin have been friends for like 2 years now.
Oh, well, you know, if you put it that way. Mm.
I mean, you got
Yeah.
a text saying, "Hey, guess what, Martin? It's our anniversary." Like I haven't got one, nigga. Bitch,
It's not our anniversary yet.
When is it, huh,
It's in
dude?
September.
No, it's not.
That is September 18th.
Benji, if you don't get him flowers, he's obviously gonna get pissed.
Well, fuck me, huh?
For real, damn, you walked yourself right in that one. Just so you know, they aren't married, but they're really
September
close.
18th, motherfucker.
Anyways, so let's go with fucking age 6. I like
6
that.
it is.
We used to live at this old house, and this old house was fucking old. Like, goddamn.
It was an old house.
And I
How old
remember,
was it?
I remember when I would like go to sleep and literally at around the same time, fucking 1 to 4, fucker.
Fuck.
As you viewers may or may not know, everything scary and ghost-wise happens in between 1 and 4 a.m.
Yeah.
So either this ghost didn't have a chance to fucking party, or he was just a fucking party animal. Our surround sound system that we had fucking just turned up and fucking blasted
Really?
in the middle of the fucking night.
Really?
Nobody was in the living room.
He was down to get down, and you were like, stop.
I was like, I'm scared. I'm crying. I'm screaming. My mom's like, who the fuck turned on the fucking thing? And I'm over there like, I'm gonna sleep with you, okay? And that's probably the only time I've actually had a ghost experience.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But then it's like, was that a ghost or was that just you from another dimension being a turned ass little fucking kid being like, what? What? But,
Shout out to Menji Ghost. Put it in the comments.
Benji goes.
Magic ghost.
Fucking get that shit tatted.
Nah, I'm not a big fan of tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can't be like saying, I'm not a fan of tattoos either.
No, I love tattoos, but it's like, I
The only reason, this is super sad, really quick.
Yeah.
The only reason I see tattoos, and if they're really good, is if they have a fucking meaning to them.
Yeah.
If I point to, let's say you had just a bunch, I'd be like, what the fuck is that for?
like a tiny little fucking
Yeah.
elephant just being like,
It's just like, oh, it's just to fill up space. I'm like, no, that's not cool. That is
yeah,
not cool.
I don't
I
even want to talk about that.
I can't get tattoos unless they have meaning. Like, I've only gotten one since being 21, and I've always wanted tattoos, but that's because I can't.
Tattoos by tabs.
I can't agree on anything with myself, you know? Being like,
Yeah,
I
because
agree with
that shit's gonna stay forever.
Yeah. And so I need something that's gonna, like, be like a daily thing that I need. You know what I mean?
Okay, scratch that shit.
Yeah, anyway. But, like, where I was going with the sleep paralysis, which is a thing, like, probably deserves a video in and of its own, but it scared the fuck out of me. I was at Landon's house, and Landon's not here today, but he'll be here in a little bit.
Shout out for Landon not being here in the comments.
Yeah,
Tell
call
him
him
he's a
out for it. Be like, you a bitch. But whatchamacallit, I was at Landon's. We were having a big sleepover for his birthday. I remember waking up in the middle of the night and just like not being able to move, but like straight up just dead ass looking at the corner of his room and seeing a big fucking like butcher man, like just a big brawly motherfucker just standing there with a butcher knife. And I was just like scared shitless and I just couldn't move. And he just sat there and looked at me. But it was like a terrifying nightmare. And I know a lot of people, like Paul used to fucking have sleep paralysis moments where
Shout out to Paul for sleep paralysis.
link in the description to his channel. But he's telling me about a time where like fucking, I can't remember if it was the old lady from Snow White or like Snow White like came and like stood over him and like just fucking was like whispering in his ear or some shit.
Fuck.
Yeah. It was weird, like, cause like sleep paralysis, that's some real shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking scary.
Like
as
I've
hell.
talked to my coworkers and they told me all the different stories, and I'm just like, I haven't had that happen.
Well, and in this post earlier, we talked about interdimensional beings and selves
Shit.
and interdimensional. Let me ask you this: if dreams are a way to access another dimension, because dreams get pretty fucking weird, they go all over the place. The sleep paralysis, is that our conscious self entering or being impacted by a person and or entity from a different dimension?
Well, it's
Because our brains.
Think about-
Hold up. I have a point to make
Yeah.
about this. With as it relates back to the sleep paralysis, if our brains have no ability to interpret a different reality in any real way other than visually and audibly, and our brains can't accept a different reality's being and or person, would that brain be able to send signals to the rest of the body to interact with a different reality being? Or would we just be able to hear and see them? That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's because a different thing from a different reality is interacting with us, and our bodies have no ability to physically interact with them, but we can hear and see them. Because our bodies have no learned experience on how to interact with the reality that they are occupying.
fucking maybe. Jesus.
Shout out to different realities in the comment section. What's the reality you want to live in?
Straight up. And on that note, I think it's good to end. We kind of hit everything. Fucking God.
We don't want to fuck God, just
Well, yeah,
God with the
we were-
adjective.
Yeah. We hit on. We didn't hit on God, but
We didn't hit on him either. We covered a section about God. We covered a section about mental illness. We covered a section about dimensions. We covered the section about dimensions quite, overly, where it comes with drugs. It comes to ghost experiences.
comes with mental illness. pretty
Yeah,
much.
so we covered a lot of things here. We would like to know your guys' opinions on what we said in the comments, as well as ideas for our upcoming shows. So hit us up in the comments. It's Martin.
Lowe's.
And Taz. And thank you everybody for watching. We will see you guys next time. And hopefully Landon's here. Shout out to Landon for being a fucking bitch.
Let's get a shout out in the
Bitch.
comments for Landon Bitch.
Landon bitch.
Hashtag.
Landon #bitch. Peace, motherfuckers.
Thank God it's over.